This is the Herd Line News.
All right, we have some breaking news, Colin. The Jets have fired their general manager, Mike Maccagnan.
Yep.
And the interim GM is interesting. Jets CEO Christopher Johnson wrote in a statement, "This morning I informed Mike that he was being relieved of his duties as general manager of the team effective immediately. I came to the decision to make a change after much thought and a careful assessment of what would be in the best long-term interest of the New York Jets. I will start a search for our new general manager immediately. In the interim, Coach Gase will be the acting general manager."
Yeah, Coach Gase will not be the GM long-term. This is the right move to make. After the draft, I said this, remember the day after the draft, I came out and I said, I don't know who has the best draft. I know who has the worst draft, the Jets. This guy, I had a general manager in the league and a director of scouting the Sunday after the draft text me and say, the Jets have no idea what they're doing. Now, he's done a good job on his first pick. Jamal Adams, Leonard Williams, Sam Darnold dropped in his lap. They had no game plan in this draft. Okay, they took medical issue guys and character issue guys. The Colts don't take either. It was a draft that had no direction. Listen, when you get the third pick, it's not hard to get a great player. Talent, mid to late, second, third, fourth, fifth. Their third-round picks are a disaster. They're character guys who could be high or could be whiffs, and that's not what you do when you're building a franchise. He just doesn't. They needed a center, didn't address it. They needed a number one receiver in a great receiver draft, didn't address it. He doesn't know what he's doing. They do not have a plan, and this is the right move going forward.
We had 2 years left on his contract, and there's also rumors that he had a spat with Coach Gase. So that's probably not the best environment to begin with anyway, and you're trying to launch the career of Sam Darnold, and you have Le'Veon Bell, and you should be in a good, positive trending position. So that I guess they're just clearing house because they also fired the VP of player personnel as well.
For the record, anybody can get the number one pick right, and anybody can draft Sam Darnold when he falls into your lap. Don't give him credit for Sam Darnold and Jamal Adams.
No, you like you said, you get credit for the later rounds, finding guys that are not the obvious picks and building your team from the ground up. So if they had that draft, that's not the way to go.
All my NFL sources, they're not going to bang a guy, but all my NFL sources were like, this guy's on an island. He's not connected to people. To make deals in this league, like Andy Reid, Sean Payton, Belichick, to make deals in this league, Joy, you have to have friends in the league. You have to have connections because, Belichick's got guys in the league that work with him, right? Like Shanahan. So he calls Kyle Shanahan. This Jets GM, nobody knows him. He doesn't.
Yeah, you have to have relationships and
he doesn't
have conversations about players and be in the know. You work in the information business. That's how it goes. So Knicks fans apparently weren't the only ones disappointed when the team ended up with a third pick. According to Mark Spears of the Undisputed, Zion Williamson was definitely rooting for the Knicks to get the top spot so he could end up in New York. Zion reportedly quickly left the room after the Pelicans were announced as the lottery winners. Look, it kind of felt like a collective overall just air out of the room when the top four picks were even announced, because as soon as they announced that it was Memphis, New Orleans, New York, and LA, it was like it had the feeling like this could go very badly, and it did go very badly. And this is not a knock on New Orleans. I love New Orleans. It's a great city. It's not even about the city. There's just no history with that organization. There's no culture with that organization. We talk about small market teams that are having success right now. The Blazers, incredible NBA history with the Blazers. The Nuggets, not really that small of a market. And they have a history and culture there as well. Oklahoma City is not new to success. They were in the finals with 3 MVPs.
If the Saints got the number one pick, nobody would be bummed out. Because we know Mickey Loomis and Sean Payton, we know they're well run. It's not market.
We've seen this. They have Anthony Davis.
We don't
talk about Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis is a great player. There's no movement with him. And we sound like we're being elitist and we only care about the big markets. The small market teams are doing well right now. We talk about Cleveland every day for how many years?
The small market teams are dominating the league.
Right. It's not about that. It's about the specific organization. It feels like he's going to go there and disappear into the mist, and nobody wants that. I don't even think Pelicans fans want that because they're still not going to be relevant. finally, there was a game last night. Steph Curry looked like Steph Curry last night. He had 9 threes and scored 36 points in 35 minutes.
He was wild.
He was. And he led the Warriors to a 116-94 win over Portland. The game overall kind of felt like a regular season game. There was no real sense of urgency, I didn't feel like, from either team. It was just the Warriors kind of playing great, and the Blazers just looked a little tired and sluggish and just sort of off.
You notice something? Steph and Clay's games have stepped up in recent days without KD.
Well, they have more space to do that. KD was out again with his right calf strain. But despite the fact that they lost game one, 3 playoff teams have already won 7-game series, 4-1 after losing the opener, the Raptors, the Sixers, and the Bucks. So Portland does have time to regroup for game 2.
Yeah.
It just kind of felt like they were tired,
yes,
a little off. And they were there for most of the game anyway, despite that. So I'm not discouraged at this. I mean, Golden State won game 1. Like, shocker, not the end of the world.
Yeah,
but
Portland looked gassed.
Yeah, but Steph did look incredible.
He did. And Clay in the second half was incredible. Joy with the news.
Well, that's the news.
And thanks for stopping by.
The Herd Line News.
I'm not sure if Nick Wright heard my open, but I do believe the NBA and basketball in general, from AAU